How many of you here like seafood? Well, when we think of seafood, what we usually think of is eating all-you-can-eat buffet of seafood at the Red Lobster. But what we don't usually think about is the industry that lies behind all of this seafood. Something else we don't really think about is the environmental, political, and economic impact that it has. But before I get into my speech, I want to define the topic of today. What is overfishing? Well, overfishing is depleting resources faster than they can come back. So, for example, we'll look at the cod fishing industry in Newfoundland. During the 1990s, the cod fishing industry was forced to put a moratorium on by the government of Canada because overfishing resulted in 35,000 jobs lost. This caused a lot of economic and political instability in Newfoundland at the time. And even 30 years later, the population of codfish still struggles to come back to what it used to be. The industry is still smaller than what it used to be and what it could have been if we had acted in some sort of sustainable way. So the environmental impact. The World Wildlife Foundation found that overfishing affects populations of different species through the food chain. So, for example, we'll look at a big fish and a little fish. If we take out all the big fish, then there's going to be way too many little fish because the big fish used to eat the little fish. And whatever the little fish eats now is going to be really small because there's so many little fish eating their prey. So it kind of goes up, down, up, down, up, down, or down, up, down, up, down, up, depending on the species through the population because of the food chain. Habitat destruction is also a big result of overfishing. So dredging is a perfect example of this, and what it is a net that's attached to wheels that's dragged across the ocean floor. What this does is it can stir up sediments, which it usually does, which distracts the fish and disorients them, which can cause them physical harm from the nets as well. Chemicals that are also used aboard boats can also cause habitat destruction. So coral, a sensitive organism, is a habitat or is in some sort of symbiotic relationship with a lot of different organisms. And so chemicals that spill can kill the coral and puts those animals that were dependent on it at risk. And pollution is also a very big piece that kind of goes with the chemical harm. An article titled "Heavy Metals Causing Toxicity to Fish" found that heavy metals stunt the growth of fish and make them easier prey and worse hunters because it affects their sense of smell and direction. The political impact is also a very big piece. The Department of Fisheries and Oceans Canada in 2021 found that $8.79 billion of seafood exports were exported out of Canada. So this is a very big piece of our economy, is what this statistic is saying. But with overfishing comes a lot of job loss. UK-based Economic Foundation found in 2012 that 100,000 jobs were being lost worldwide per year due to overfishing. So if we look at this on a smaller scale, if we look at Canada, we can say a lot of jobs are being lost considering how dependent we are on the fishing industry for jobs. If we want to look at even smaller scale, like Nova Scotia or New Brunswick or Newfoundland, we can see how big an impact job loss could have. Money loss also comes with job loss. The seas around us in 2018 found that $51 to $83 billion are being lost in revenue worldwide per year. This is very big, and again, if we look at it on a smaller scale, we could see how much this could impact provinces like Newfoundland or Nova Scotia that are still trying to develop. Not that we aren't developed, but we still have a long way we could go compared to other provinces in Nova Scotia. And with this decreased revenue, this is a cause because of decreased trade. And decreased trade can weaken international relations or interprovincial relations, which is something that we would like to avoid if possible. In conclusion, as technology develops, fishing practices get more efficient and effective. This means we can take out more fish at a time at even quicker rates than ever before. But this problem continues to grow because of this. The government should impose laws and follow others by example, such as the Norwegians, who have made no fishing zones, which have been proven to increase populations to the point where they come back to a normal level. Canada has some marine protected areas at this point, but our efforts have not been strong enough to see a massive change yet. This problem still needs work. Thank you.